South of everything in Batesville, Arkansas at Mark Martin Kia, and this, as you know, is Jeff Zelasco, my good friend from the Kia store.
From the Kia store.
Yes,
all
sir.
these little Kias running around here.
Yeah, there's a lot of little Kias, aren't there? We like Kias.
Yes, we do. They're all over the place.
Hey, we get to visit each and every month and talk about some things that are going on here, and lots of excitement each and every month that we have. One thing that we don't normally talk about is pricing of cars, specific cars, but you've got some specials we want to get right to and talk about some of these.
Let's do that. We are closing out the 15s, and they're going out. They're going pretty fast, actually.
Yes.
Our inventory on 15 miles is shrinking. I'm going to name prices on a few vehicles,
right,
just because they're pretty fantastic.
They're special. They're special.
Yeah, I've got a new 15 Optima out here, and I've only got, I think, one left that I can do this price on for $18,990. It's an LX package. It's got power windows, power locks, got keyless entry, fog lamps, titanium color, really popular color, but $18,990 for a 15 Optima LX.
We want to say this because we don't want something to happen to us. We have one. We have one in stock.
Yeah.
This show will air all during the month of October. It might not be here on October the 15th, and it might not even be here by the time we get on the air, but when we filmed, we had one at that one.
Yeah.
That is
stock number's 3112.
3112. So we've got one, and if we happen to sell it, we'll show you where we sold it prior to you seeing this and coming down here. We don't want to. We're not one of those type dealers that'll give you a price on something and can't deliver the product. Somebody will own that car at that price.
Somebody, and don't fear, I've got several other LXs, but they're $19,990.
Right.
I've got, matter of fact, 4 or 5 I can do that on, but I've got this one that I can do $18,990 on. I've also got a couple others, and these are single price car deals, unfortunately, but I've got a new 15 Rio LX sedan, automatic transmission, $14,990.
Wow.
Now, it is what I call a commuter car.
Right.
It's got crank windows.
Right.
You don't find that very often.
Not very often.
It's got manual door locks.
Wow.
But it's automatic transmission with air and AM, FM, CD stereo radio in it, you know, and it's going to get 43, 44 miles a gallon out there on the highway. And if you want something a step nicer in the Rio family, I've got a LX that's got what they call the power package on it. So you got your power windows, your power locks, and keyless entry for $15,990.
Wow.
You know, you take that price, you take your warranty, and you take your fuel economy, you're going to not be out a whole lot of money every month on a car.
You know, it is just amazing, and we've talked about this on countless occasions on this program. We're not talking about 3- and 4-year-old cars here. We're talking about brand new, factory ready, brand new automobiles with
full warranty.
Full warranty, and just, I mean, those are great deals. Those are great deals.
Yeah, we think they're pretty special. I've got about 7 or 8 Souls that we've got marked $16,990.
Okay.
Now, on the Soul, there is some special offers from Kia Finance if you qualify.
Okay.
You can get 2.9% interest, and you can take another $1,000 off that.
Wow.
To get you to $15,990.
Right.
But again, you got to have a 700 credit score, got to meet these qualifications. But and of course, always on any of these prices, except the $18,990 Optima, if you served in the military, you can take another $400 off. Or if you're in the military now, you know, that's available to everybody.
One of the things we like to do, is we don't want to price it down there with all the incentives that are already on there and say you can get this one for $12,990, and then when you get here, say, well, okay, you don't qualify for these 4 right here. We like to be upfront with what we're trying to do right here and explain. Here's the price of our car that everybody can get. This is the rebate, blah 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 blah. And then if you do qualify, you get some, just like you said, you can get a little bit further discount.
Further discounts.
Absolutely.
I've got one Soul left that's a 15. That's a manual transmission, but it's got power windows and power locks and AM, FM satellite. It's $14,990. So that's, you know, we sell quite a bit of manual transmission vehicles. And I've moved up to 16s on about everything else. But I've still got about 40 to 50 15 models on the ground.
Right, right.
So
time to close them out, time to move them out.
If you want a fantastic deal on the end of season, come and get them.
And you know, here's the deal: when you have some models that it's the end of the season, it's time to move them out to make room for the 16. Not only on the price of the vehicles, but in all fairness, we got a place to go with your used vehicle also. We're going to give you as much, if not more, than anybody in the country is going to give for it. Tremendous appraisal system. Got the best guy in the business doing that. And, you know, and on some of these 15, we may give you a few more $100 to make the deal.
Might possibly can. Just, we talked about this earlier, and I think we talked about this last month too. The only number that really matters is how much are you going to have to finance or write a check for?
That's correct.
You know, people get hung up on, well, they were telling me I'm getting this for my car, and I'm getting this, and they're telling me this for that, and all that's irrelevant.
Sure.
It's that bottom number is how much are you financing or how much is your check going to be written for, and that's the one people really need to focus on because there's lots of stuff going on out there.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about it too, and we have talked about this, and I want to hit on it again. When you're comparing prices of cars, and you look at a car that's a real from the factory makes a manufacturer's suggested retail price. It's $20,000, whatever that price is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what everybody has. And then you might get to what they call a supplemental sticker over to the side. That makes that car list for $22,000, and there's really not anything there to make that $2,000 markup, but what it allows that other dealer to do would be, well, I know you wanted $10,000 for your car, and it's really only worth $8,000. We'll go ahead and give you the $10,000. So don't get caught up with that supplemental sticker on the side.
And I'm not going to pick on people, but when you look at an ad, read it. Because a lot of the dealers now, especially in the big metro areas, are advertising, you know, this includes all available incentives. Well, all available incentives are kid finance money or the finance money, the military money, the college grad money, maybe first time buyer money, and then you get there and they go, well, you didn't graduate college? Okay.
You don't get that.
No, you don't get that.
You don't get that one.
So it's disappointing.
It's disappointing when I mean, because we have a great business in the car business. It's deals like that give the car industry a bad name from time to time.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, most of us are trying to do it the right way.
Right. But what happens, you know, you've driven that hour and a half, whatever. You're going to go eat. You might be going to go shop, and maybe they've got 300 cars down there.
Sure.
And while we're here, we might as well go ahead and get the car while we're down here and get it done.
Absolutely.
But
marketing strategy to get you there.
I guarantee you, nobody's going to take care of our customers like we do.
Well, you know, I've seen that. I've been up here enough to know. And here's one of the things that I have noticed, and whether it's here or over at the Ford store, I see people that are back again. You know, whether the dad bought one and the mom wants one, or the husband bought one and the wife wants one, or their kid's going to get one. I see a lot of repeat customers just in the couple of 3 years that we've been doing programs up here. I see a lot of folks that tell me, I bought this particular Kia for my daughter, and now my son's old enough to drive, and I'm going to buy him this particular Kia. So I see a lot of that, and that means you guys are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and we talk about that a lot.
We're trying to. You know, you can never please everybody.
Right.
But that don't mean you don't try.
Talk a little bit about service, because that's one thing that we laugh about it a lot.
Yeah.
We say, you know, we really don't need a service guy here, but they are machines. Sometimes they're going to break, sometimes they're going to break down. We've got certified techs that can take care of all of our products.
We do, and they're very good. I mean, they're very good at diagnosing. And matter of fact, we had a vehicle here a couple weeks ago. They had been down in Texas. And that's where they were from, and they'd had it in before they left, and there was a noise, and the noise continued, and they pulled it in here, and tech pulled up, the first thing he put up there, he said, well, here's what's wrong. And they said, what? He said, yeah, this is what it is. And he fixed it, got them on their way, but you know, they were really disappointed that the dealership they had been at had their vehicle a couple days and couldn't figure out what that noise was.
Right.
He's good. I'm really proud he's here.
Absolutely. Jeff, before we get out of here, I want to talk about the inventory itself. You've mentioned on it a little bit, but man, we have got the 15s, we've got some 16s. Talk about that inventory and that turn and earn that you guys, that makes this business.
Well, in Batesville, Arkansas, we've got like a close to 130 new cars on the ground right here, Kias, for you to look at. And customers come, they want selection. They don't want to look at just 2 or 3. And because of our volume and sales, we've been able to keep the lot packed and stacked. We've got a really good relationship with the distribution center, and we do a little bit better than turn and earn. Sometimes we earn without turning some of the stuff, but they're really good to us.
How do those guys, when they come in there and look, or of course it's all on a computer anymore, but you've had the big boys here,
yes.
You've had them here to look at your dealership to say, this is the way it needs to be done, and they want to learn from what you guys do. But I mean, how does that actually work on a turn and earn? Or how do you get your inventory? What's that determined by?
Well, they give you a quota of sales.
Right.
And usually based on your sales, you sell a car, you get one back.
Right.
And then if you're selling lots of cars, you get maybe more than what you sold back.
Okay.
That system wasn't working for us.
No, it wasn't. For the better for the clients.
When you have 9 new cars out there, that's not really good for you when you're trying to sell 50. But so this market, they just didn't think this market could do the volume we're doing. And with all their numbers, they look nationally where their sales are. They're at 7% nationally. Well, here we're at 36%.
Right.
And so the 7% plan don't work for Batesville, Arkansas.
That's right. Because we're doing more than that. We're selling more than that.
Yeah. Well, if we're responsible for Independence County and part of Jackson.
Right.
And if you look at that, okay, but our sales, over half of what we sell leaves here and goes north of us, actually, up into Mountain Home area.
Yeah, where do we sell them?
Southern Missouri, over toward Harrison. We've even been into Branson with a few sales. And then our internet sales are just all over the place.
Right.
And that's a decent number every month.
Absolutely.
Probably close to 10 cars a month.
Wow.
And they go, some people Texas, it's just crazy. Even Arizona, Colorado, and you go, what, they're not a key dealer out there? Well, for whatever reason, they didn't come to terms. We have people call in or talk to us on the internet, and we give them a price, and they'll go, well, they wanted this. Well, the plants are still running. They're still building cars.
That's right.
So while they're building, we're going to sell.
That's right.
When they shut down, we might kind of slow down and sell it a little bit. But we like to sell cars, and that's just what we do. And we don't try to push people onto things that they don't want. And that happens a lot in your big metro markets. And that's to our advantage because we're just an hour and a half from Memphis, then an hour and a half from Little Rock. Sure. So if you're not getting the service or the vehicles you want there, you can get up here pretty fast. We've been using the slogan, we're worth the drive.
Right, sure.
Because we're not going to treat you, we don't think, in a manner like you're not going to want to be treated. And we've got really good products. This year, the Sorrento, J.D. Power's #1 in its segment.
Okay.
Now that's against the Honda Pilot, the Ford Escape, the Jeep, the Chevy Equinox.
Sure.
I mean, they said this was #1 in that class. And then
you're not saying this.
No, J.D. Power.
J.D. Power and Associates is saying
well,
this.
actually, the people that own them.
That's correct.
Say they
That
are.
is correct, and that's where they get the information.
Yeah, during the first 90 days of ownership. Yeah. And then the Kia Soul in its segment was rated #1 above the Juke, the Scion. Trying to think real fast. Other competitors. There's just about 5 or 6 in that market, but out of all those, their owners said they were #1. And then our Sedona van, that was a restyle this year, was rated #1 by J.D. Powers for the Appeal Award.
Right.
And that's not on how it looked. It's an acronym, and I'm not going to get it right, so I'm not going to say it. But based on that category, it rated #1. And Cars.com just rated our Sedona van #1. And Motor Trend did a big spread in their magazine not long ago against all the vans, put them together. The one they said they want to own was the Kia.
Wow, fantastic.
So we've got verification
Absolutely.
that we've got a good product.
Well, there's no doubt we have a great product. We have plenty of product on the lot. We're going to provide you with good service, and we talk about it all the time. We just want you to give us an opportunity. If you're ready to buy a brand new car, or if you're thinking of even buying a used car, you might want to come out and look at some of our new cars. And we've got used car prices that we talked about at the first of the show.
Yes.
We got some bargains on those new things, Jeff, and we just invite people by to come visit with us and give us a chance.
Yeah, if you can't afford a new car, we've got 100+ used cars down here, every brand, every make, just about every model. We do a good job of keeping a great pre-owned inventory So if that's your budget, come out, we'll help you.
Again, we promise you, give us a chance before you buy something. Come to Mark Martin Kia, Batesville, south of everything, and give us the opportunity to just figure you a deal. We'd like to show you our product and give you some prices.
We'll be fair with you.
Jess Alasko, good to see you, my friend.
You.
As always, my pleasure.